Good afternoon, hello from Jelly Towers, it's Amanda Villamayor here, and I'm going to show you how to make your own bias binding to go with your own project. It could be bunting, it could be edging a dress, but if you don't want to use your standard block colour one that you can get from the shops, you can make it with matching fabric to suit your project. So I've got some flags for some bunting, and I want to use bias binding along the top in matching fabrics. So I'm going to take a little bit of the fabric that I've got over and I'm going to cut it into strips, and I'm going to use it for the bias all the way along the top. So here's how we do it. First of all, iron the piece of fabric nice and flat that you're going to use. Place your fabric on a flat surface. I've got a really nice self-healing cutting board and a patchwork ruler and a cutter. I find it works really well, and it's any sewer's friend. You don't have to have meters and meters of fabric because you can cut it and join it. That's the joy of this. You can use up your scraps. I love using up scraps. So measure 4 centimeters and cut it all in strips. So I've got lots of little strips of 4 centimeters, and all you need to do now is just join them up. So put your right sides facing, pop it underneath your sewing machine on a straight stitch, a little forward and back at the beginning and at the end, and it's as simple as that. And just repeat until you've got one long line of however long you need it. Simple. So you've got one long line, and all you do, give it a press to flatten down your seams so there's no big bumpy bits in the middle, all the way along to the end. So out of that little tiny patch of fabric, I've actually got a nice long bit of potential bunting. Loads of it. Give your threads a little bit of a trim so that they don't stick out of your bias when you're doing your bunting, because that's a little annoying. So just give it all a little haircut, make your life easier. If you saw a couple of weeks back, I did a tutorial on how to make bunting, and I said there's many different ways of making your bias. You can get little tools, all of that sort of thing. This is my favourite. It's so simple. You just need 2 really long pins, I'd say 2.5 inches. Excuse my gammy ironing board, gets a lot of work. And you just pop them about 1.5 inches apart, like that, through the fabric. Is a bit fiddly, which is why I've pre-done it. So you've got like little train tracks, and then all you do, this is like how your grandma used to do it. You fold it over so it meets in the middle. This is a little bit tricky as well, but it's so worth it. Just pick your pin up, pop it through. Look, see? Simple. You pop it through. Like I said, a little bit fiddly. A little bit fiddly. Excuse my terrible nails, I've been decorating. And sit it so it's nice and meets in the middle, just like that. Guide it through, I'd say about 4 inches, until it's wide enough to get your iron on. Get your iron on there, give it a bit of a steam. If you hold it so you pinch the 2 together, you'll get a nice even line, like that. So you get your iron, leave your iron there, and then all you do is you feed it through. Keep guiding it through so it doesn't overlap. But look what comes out the other end. A nice bit of matching bunting. Keep saying bunting. Bias binding to go with your bunting. So out of that half of a fat quarter, I've got about 3 meters of bias binding here. Fold it over in half and fold it over. So now I'm going to put it on my bunting. So there you go, fold it over. Just sew over the end. Do a little back stitch. And a little forward stitch. Fold it in half. There you go. Go as far as you want to go before you put your first flag in. And it's just like any shop bought, off the roll, bias binding. And there you go. You've got your perfect bunting.